when I tell you to flip it and start reeling, flip it. Now reel, 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 reel. Set hard, 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 hard. Again, again. There you go. Now wait for him to jump out there. He might jump.
In their element, man, these guys can't go anywhere without getting mobbed for autographs and pictures and everything. And that's one of the cool things about fishing with these guys is that they were really cool guys.
Taking notes, Nate. This is how you bring it in, baby. All it.
Holy, oh my God.
Whoa!
Yes, look at that guy.
That is a shark. The biggest fish I've ever caught.
I'm gonna continue.
I got him, relax.
Oh my God.
Hawks Cay Saltwater Experience with Captain Tom Rowland and Captain Rich Tudor.
So, have you ever been?
No, I never been. I've never been on the ocean fishing on basically.
Never been on the ocean?
On the boat
Have you ever been on a boat?
I'm aware of boats. They're those things that float, right?
Well, this will be an interesting day.
As long as I'm not bait, that's what I'm concerned about.
What are we going for?
Sharks. Sharks. Figured that would be right up your alley.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
Yeah. You guys remember Rich?
Yeah.
Nate.
Quarry,
How you doing, man?
Paul Buentello.
Good to see you, dude. How you doing?
Good.
You know, we got to go fishing a couple of times with some people that you really respected and liked, like Scott Walker, and catch a swordfish, and that was really cool. But you know, definitely one of the highlights of my year has been to get to fish with a couple of guys that I really think highly of, and one is Paul Buentello. You know, he fought for the UFC heavyweight title, and not only is he a fighter, and I've seen him on TV and watched him fight and know all about him, but he's a cool guy. And I got a chance to meet Paul through a mutual friend and went out to a UFC fighting. I met Nate and I met Paul, and it was kind of cool because, you know, MMA, mixed martial arts, is blowing up into the world's biggest sport. I mean, these guys are at the beginnings of what is going to be just a really big deal. And in their element, man, these guys can't go anywhere without getting mobbed for autographs and pictures and everything. And that's one of the cool things about fishing with these guys is that they were really cool guys. You know, they were just regular guys that happened to be trained killers. And
I was impressed.
Fun.
I mean, I didn't know what to expect. I really didn't. I'm not, as avid a fan as you are, with the UFC stuff. But, I've certainly been trying to pay attention, watching some of the fights and stuff. And it was really cool to, what was it, 3 days before they came fishing with me, Nate had this big fight, and I got to watch that. But watching this guy, I mean, it was a Rocky movie. I mean, that's what it was. Nate was getting killed. I mean, he was down. It was the first round. You said right off the bat, boom, he gets hit, and I'm like, oh, this poor guy's never gonna make it down here to go fishing with us because he's gonna be killed. And he really was not looking well. But the guy stuck with it. He got back on his feet. It was like a Rocky movie. He gets knocked down, he gets back up. He gets knocked down, he gets back up. And he just this determination. It was just, I started all of a sudden, just like we do with the Rocky movie, cheering for him. I'm like, come on, Nate, come on, Nate. And this guy, ends up coming back and knocking the other guy out. I mean, it was unbelievable. I mean, it was pretty cool to see those guys. And, after just watching them fight, when you walk down the dock with these guys, and I see him, I see Nate. He had a couple shudders on his eyes. And, he just got done with that fight. But what a well-spoken guy. I mean, I was real impressed with him, and, at the dock there. And then, they were excited to go fishing. It was neat. Neither one of them is just like a lot of our clients. Neither one of them had any experience at all with the fishery.
Well, any experience, Nate? I mean, I asked him, I said, Nate, have you ever been on a boat? He said, I'm aware of boats. I know they exist. And I was like, oh boy, this could be a long day. But you know what? Those guys are like highly trained athletes. So learning how to make a cast or fight a fish, I knew it wasn't going to be hard for him.
I think I got a shark coming right now. I could see him. It was a nice black tip. Hold your tip straight up high. Yeah, there you go. Good. And when the fish pulls, he's going to pull like that, let go. Okay. So hold on, because it'll cut your finger off.
Oh, thanks.
There you go. And then once he's pulling real hard, that's when we'll say set the hook, and you can set that hook a few times.
And that means yank it back really hard.
Yeah. Just don't be shy.
Rich, have you been able to tell where their bait is? I mean, I can put a balloon on.
I can't tell where Paul's is. Okay, his bait's inside of a mouth of a fish because he just ate it. Now wait.
Who, Nate's?
Wait. Nate's just got bit. Yep. Now, when I tell you to flip it and start reeling, flip it. Now reel, 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 reel. Set hard, 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 hard. Again, 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 again. There you go. Now wait for him to jump out there. He might jump.
What do you want me to do?
Just hold on tight. Put your right hand up on that high grip. Yeah, there you go. Keep your tip up way high.
Good job, Nate. What do you think about that, buddy?
He's still going.
We might need to chase some of those lobster buoys out there.
I think I got jaws.
The little fish is living off of that guy. He's just, whoa! That kind of scared me.
The Hawks Cay Saltwater Experience is brought to you by SUFIX, drawing the line on performance. By Yellowfin, only in a yellowfin. By Bass Pro Shops, your adventure starts here. By Hawks Cay Resort, it's all about the water. By Quantum, fishing at a quantum level. And by Motor Guide, Strike King, and Guideline Sunglasses.
That's got to be the biggest fish you ever caught.
Yeah.
Considering that you had no previous experience.
I caught like a 7-inch trout a few years ago.
It's funny that there is a, in such a esoteric sport like fishing, that, somebody like a fighter, especially a professional fighter, would find it to be, something that they would like to do. But the thing is that, you're going and you're having to compete in a different element, something that you're not used to, and you got to figure it out. You got to use your brain and you got to use your mind and figure out how you're going to beat this fish or this person at his game. And I think that there's a tremendous connection between fighters, wrestlers, and a gentle sport like fishing.
So what are you trying to do? You trying to follow his line?
Yeah, I'm trying to get close to him with the boat because this fish is obviously big enough that we could not pull him to us, so we have to go to them. Wow. We're now hundreds of yards, maybe a quarter of a mile from where we hooked him. We might end up a mile or 2 miles from where we hooked him.
Oh, he's getting close.
He's getting very close.
He's got a lot of line on his
Should
reel.
be seeing him.
What impressed me to no degree was the fact that how well they picked up on it. Nate looked like he had no fishing experience whatsoever. And I think Paul had done some bass fishing and stuff like that. Nate, when I was working with him at first there, and I was watching him cast, I showed him, just like I show all my clients, man. And his first cast, he throws it out there perfect, and and then on that first cast, he's reeling it in, and wham, he hooks a big jack or permit or something. I wasn't sure what it was, and he's fighting it all with the boat, and it finally gets off, and then next thing you know, we put a big shark rod in his hand, and this giant, he hooks into this big shark, spooling out the line. We had 400 or 500 yards of line on that spool, and it was almost all gone.
That was a big shark.
By that time, he looked like an old pro. He just pumped and whined and did everything just perfect.
Okay, here he is right here.
I think this is the first time in a long time Nate Quarry's been into the third round of this fighting competition.
Okay, you got to reel in the
I
slack.
had a shark 8-9 this round, so it's kind of back and forth.
Coming up. Here he is right here.
Look at that.
Whoa.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Man. Is that what it is, the lemon?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do? Am I looking okay?
Just reel the slack in as I bring it in so it doesn't
Boy,
get
look at
caught
the
around
size
the
of
head.
that thing.
Oh, look at that.
Holy, oh my God.
Whoa! Nice job, Nate.
You mean to do that?
Woo!
Nope. It was really cool that was like one of his first experiences with fishing was this giant shark that we put in his hand, and how could you expect anything more than what he did? He's
phenomenal.
Just because of his background and what he does for a living. He could step up to any challenge, man, and he had no problem stepping up to the challenge of a 230, 250 pound lemon shark.
Whoa.
The little fish is living off of that guy. He's just, whoa! That kind of scared me. Nate, we threw him into the frying pan fast because that was a big fish on a little rod. We had to chase him for miles. That was a long fight. That was pretty impressive. Oh, there he goes. Nice job, buddy.
Awesome. Well,
woohoo! Yeah, man. Nice job, dude.
We didn't get to pull him in though.
That guy's a little big for the boat,
That's a
man.
team
You did
effort,
good.
man.
Nice job, dude. Well done, man. Congratulations.
Okay.
That was cool.
Check
That was
out your
good.
hook.
What do you
That was
think?
the weak link in the whole system. So we'll upgrade to a better hook next time. And then we can pull a little harder on. Let's go right back to that spot, man.
Nice job, dude. What do you think?
That was good.
Is that what you thought was happening? Bigger, smaller?
That was pretty big.
That was pretty big.
I'm good with that size. Well, when I was 24, 25 years old, the UFC was on pay-per-view for the very first time. And I was just so amazed by the skill level that these men possessed and by the heart and integrity that I wanted to be a part of that. So I just opened up the phone book, called down at a place that was teaching jiu-jitsu and kickboxing and started training that very week. And I started fighting and started doing well, won a few fights here and there, and just kept going and going and going. And I won a fight out in Richmond, Virginia, where the UFC took notice of me. And since then, I've been fighting for the UFC. I did well in the show, including a title shot. But after the title, however, I had injured my back due to degenerative disc syndrome. So the NuVasive company that did the surgery built me back stronger and better than before. And then just through training and getting the proper coaches, I was able to come back and actually fight again for the first time just last week in over a year and a half.
He stunned him early in the first round with the right hand, but right leg kick again. They cornered that in 3 times.
That's fine. Just let that pay out. We'll drift away from it. Let it get out there about 100 feet. And then once it's out there, you can just kind of keep your finger on the line and you'll get bit.
Just being on the boat in the ocean was a big rush for me. And then actually casting a line out in the ocean, I mean, that's in the Florida Keys. Can't beat that. I mean, what is there to expect? I mean, I've never been there. I've never done it. So it was wild.
Yeah, he's running hard now.
Yeah.
Take your time.
Woo! Look at him jumping. It's a black tip jumping way out there.
Awesome.
Nice.
All right.
There you go, Paul.
Yeah.
And just the whole atmosphere, we're going to go fishing for sharks was a rush. And actually, you see this stuff on TV all day long, and then you're actually doing it. It's like, wow, is this going to happen or what? And my daughter's so afraid of sharks, and here I am fishing for one. Should I be afraid?
That's a nice fish. That's these black tips they were telling you about.
Yeah.
Most, I think it is.
A little bit more aggressive than lemons.
They're faster. They're not as big, but they're really fast.
He's a beautiful shark. He's like iridescent colored.
Taking notes, Nate. This is how you bring it in, baby.
I'm just glad you finally got one. Maybe I can start fishing again. Won't have to feel bad.
I've been fighting for almost 11 years, going on 11 years now, and started back just when the sport pretty much started, back in my hometown in Texas, in Amarillo, Texas. And I thought it'd be, in the big show in 6 months to a year. Before you know it, it's 8 years later, and I finally got there. It took a while. It took 8 years to get there. And now everything now that I'm doing now is icing on the cake. I love it. I'm not a boring fighter. I'm not the best looking fighter. I don't carry myself as a fighter. That's just how I am. I live my life just like a normal person would. And the sport's growing like crazy, leaps and bounds, And all I'm doing is just riding the tidal wave.
There you go. Go under the rope.
Dude, nice job, man.
This guy's all over it, dude.
You can almost say it's checkers to chess, but it's more like chess to chess because I'm in his element. I mean, I'm pulling him out of his element. And the thing is, you had to feel his power, and when you're fighting, you got to kind of, you always see that feeling out, see how strong he is, how strong he's not. And you have to be real finesse. You have to work with him, and work with him, and work with him. And just like fighting, you can't just go out there and throw the big punch or try to, land him or go for the big knockout. You have to work to that part. You can just control that fish if you just be real easy with him, and bring him up slowly. It was a lot of technique stuff.
Bring it right to me. Good. Easy. Just grab the dorsal. You can probably just pull him out with the dorsal if you want.
Wore him out. Look at that.
Nice.
He's done.
Beautiful fish. Nice job, man.
Got him.
All right, you ready? This guy's beautiful, man. You're gonna really like this. Oh boy! Step back, way back, way back, way back, way back. Keep that bail open there in case he gets it away.
Damn, look at that.
Nice job, dude. That is a beautiful black tip shark.
Look at that.
Wow.
Look at the muscles ripping out of that guy. They're so strong.
Careful, Tom. That's when I really got nervous, because I was always looking, if you notice, I was always looking where I could run. I was making sure I had an exit point. I was like, what if the thing gets loose? You know, you have to think, you know, I try to think ahead of everything. That's how I fight. I always try to think of the other person's movement before it happens, and that's how I usually get a good knockout and stuff, because I'm already anticipating something. And that fish, I couldn't anticipate. If you grab the tail, that thing's gonna come around and just take a nibble off you. Just like a dog, you can never stop a dog from nibbing at you. And just did that in the back of my head, sharp teeth. And it was a rush though, you know, it really was.
But then go the other way. Can you believe how rough he is? That's why we have to use that heavier line, you know, close to him. The wire for his teeth, and then the heavier line. Wow. And then go the other way.
Man, he's
All right, go ahead and get him in the water before he gets too tired. Nice job, dude. Uh-oh. Step back, everybody step back.
Just see Paul take off. Hadn't seen you move that fast since your last fight, Paul.
Yeah.
He's smart.
I mean, I never thought I would be doing something, fishing off the Florida Keys for sharks and catching them and actually touch one. I never touched one before, you know, and I mean, that's a thrill in itself right there.
For a couple of the toughest guys in the world, you sure don't want to get very close to that shark, do you?
There he goes.
There he goes, baby. Look at him swim away.
No worse for the wear.
Take that, you.
We got him right on top. Look at his black tip out of the water. That's cool. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Quantum's largest reel to date is this Aruba 30 wide. It holds over 2,000 yards of 65-pound braided line. Really can catch about any fish out there. We can drop this down 2,000 feet deep to catch a big swordfish. We can catch a giant Goliath grouper on it. We can catch huge sharks, even 1,000-pound hammerheads. We'll load this up with a 130-pound braided line and catch big giant hammerheads, put over 20 pounds of drag pressure to stop them. Not much you can't catch on the reel. One of the features I really like is the fact that while your lever drag is engaged, you can actually adjust the drag pressure over here without having to put it in a free spool. That's a great feature. The other thing I really like is this is a 2-speed reel as opposed to just a single gear ratio. By pushing that button in right there, we're actually putting it in a low gear ratio, so it's cranking much slower. It's easier to crank something, you know, from down deep when there's not much line on the reel. Then when the fish gets closer to the boat or he starts swimming at you, you can push the button again and go into high speed and really cover that line, retrieve it much faster to get that fish when he's close to the boat or swimming right at you. With this reel, there's not much out there we can't catch.
The Hawks Cay Saltwater Experience is brought to you by Yellowfin, only in a yellowfin. By Lowrance, we lead, we find, you win. By Mercury, #1 on the water. The Florida Keys in Key West, come as you are. And by Thumbdinger, Navionics, Scott Fly Rods, and Loadmaster.
I was impressed with him. You know, I did not know what to expect. Saying, you know, all right, here's a couple of professional fighters, the guys that make their living, you know, beating each other up. I'm thinking, you know, maybe I'm not going to like these guys. And immediately, I mean, the personalities were very likable, polite, well-spoken,
Yep.
and I realized, you know, they're just nice guys that make their living doing this, just like we make our living fishing.
I wouldn't have asked him to come if I didn't think we'd get along with him. I mean, I knew that we would get along with them because they're great guys, you know? You could get to know them for a week, and if they never mentioned that they were a fighter, you would never know that about them.
Paul, you got to try this catching.
Yeah. Oh, he's tiny. Check him out. See, that's all you can catch.
He's tiny because of the other one I got.
Paul is a very good ambassador of the sport. He's been there for a long time, and he's done some great things. Nate, one of the things that makes him one of the most popular fighters is his ability to just have an amazing amount of class in the way that he handles himself.
Well, I'm a firm believer in that you see what a man you truly are in defeat, not in victory. So I went out, I fought my best. Rich is a great champion, that's obvious. He won easily, first round knockout. You know, I did my best. I wish the best for Rich. He's a good champion. I'm happy to have been a part of this situation.
And to be able to, you know, spend some time with a guy and realize, you know, it wasn't just a show. That's how he is all the time in real life, and that's how Paul is, you know. And those guys are they're great ambassadors, and it was great to have them on the boat. And you know, we'll do it again, man. Those guys are definitely coming back because they had fun.
Good to go.
See you, buddy.
Excellent.
There you go.
Nate! Bet you anything.
You ready for some more of that?
I'm ready.
I got bag 2 now, Nate. What's up?
Bring it.
I bag 2. Got 2 on the boat.
I think it's 2 for 2 now. You guys are both.
Yeah, but he didn't bring it on the boat, though.
Well, that's
Paul did real good today. After a slow start, he spent a lot of time watching me, you know, kind of picking up the tricks. Once I figured out how to pull in the big fish and really showed him how it was done, then he went ahead and gave it a shot by pulling in some little skippers there. And
No competition. I had the finesse, had the technique. I knew what I was looking for. I even baited my own hooks. He blew them out of the water. Bar none, blew them out of the water.
well, heavyweights always try to compete with the lower weight classes because they know that generally they're fatter and slower and not as skilled. All I gotta do is sprint for 30 seconds and you'll never catch me.
Accommodations provided by Hawks Cay Resort Marina and Villas. It's all about the water.